month of November. I cannot believe that we are already in the month of November. Time is flying, but we're so excited that you're watching this video. It means you want to know a little bit more about the transfer process. So we've had a few college success series this semester already, focusing on our first year students and some financial aid information, athletics. Those have been the topics previously. And tonight we thought we would focus on our transfer students. So we work with a variety of different types of students, those coming directly into our undergraduate program as first year students straight from high school, college, university, coming out of college or university, and they come into our PharmD program or maybe one of our master's programs. And then we have students coming from colleges, community colleges, universities, and want to transfer into our undergraduate programs to complete an undergraduate degree and potentially pursue one of our graduate or professional programs. So we wanted to focus on those students tonight and really just share some information about what that transfer process looks like, what you can be thinking about, how to be proactive, questions to ask, and things to be considering. And so joining us tonight is our undergraduate transfer representative, Anita Gentry. And again, she will share just a lot of good tips to make sure that your transfer path is a successful one. We'll be there with you through the process, but these are some really helpful tips that she'll be sharing with you to make sure that that process for you is a successful one. So, hey, Anita, how are you?
Hi, Courtney. I'm excited to be here to talk with my transfer folks. Really excited.
Good. Well, take it away.
Okay, so welcome everyone. Thanks again. Just like Courtney said, we are excited to be talking transfer tonight. So I'm Mike. This is going to really kind of go quick. There's a lot of information in a short amount of time. So we're going to get started. I will tell you just a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Anita Gentry. I am all things transfer. So I help students in the process and thinking about whether or not this is the right school, but I am also working with them to make sure that they're taking their appropriate classes and that transfer is going to be somewhat smooth. I have a passion for this because I was also a transfer student and I remember some of the difficulties that I had and some things that were a little clunky along the way, and I definitely want to help students and make sure that they have a smoother process than I had. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen, hopefully. So let's get that. Okay, I think we're good. So I put this up here because I often forget to announce who I am. So there's my name. And so again, my email address, and you're always welcome to reach out if you have any questions after this session. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time because as Courtney had said, we have had a lot of sessions talking about our programs of study, athletics and things of that nature. So I'm just going to give a really quick overview, just in case you're someone that's not been able to sit in any of our other virtual events. So we are University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy. We were founded in 1864 as St. Louis College of Pharmacy. So if you think I don't recognize that name, that is because last year in the middle of the pandemic, we did have kind of a whole brand and name change. So we are now University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy. We are located in St. Louis. So if you've not been to St. Louis, I encourage you to visit. We are a private school. Really, we're all things healthcare. So any kind of pathway that you're looking for. We are educating kind of those innovators and leaders that it's going to help kind of impact healthcare locally, nationally, and globally. We are comprised of the College of Arts and Science, which is what houses most of the programs that I work with, the undergraduate programs, and then of course the kind of our flagship program, the St. Louis College of Pharmacy, which is, by the way, the third oldest and the 10th largest college of pharmacy in the United States. So we do have accreditation from the Council of Pharmacy Education and the Higher Learning. So we're kind of a small school. We're 800 students. So if you're looking for some place that you're going to get some individual attention, it's going to be with us. Even though we're small, that doesn't mean we're not a diverse campus. We have students from all over the country, as you can see, and all over the United States. You're going to be in some small classrooms, and that's good because that means you're going to get to know your faculty, and they're going to know you, and they're going to know what your future kind of holds and where you're trying to go next. And our faculty does a really good job of making sure to get students to that next step. If you want to read more about ours, please get on our website, research. I think that's one of the best starting points for a transfer student to start narrowing down kind of what they're looking for in a school. So just briefly, I told you we were all things healthcare, and we truly are. And so this is some of our programs of study. Again, we'd be here all night if I went through all of those and talked about them. They are all exciting. So if you see something there that really grabs your attention, definitely reach out to myself, and we can provide additional information, connect you with faculty to talk in detail about those programs. Or if you see a program and you're like, I have no idea what that is, let's talk, and we can go through it. It might be something that you're potentially interested that you've never heard about. The healthcare field is just endless. There are so many opportunities, and I think we are exposed to so few of those opportunities. We think obviously doctor, nurse, those types of things, but it's all other different kinds of opportunity to work in healthcare. Maybe you're someone that's more social science. You want to, explore that, and we have pathways to do that. So really, if you leave tonight, or really be thinking that this is some place that I can really discover the healthcare path that I would like to pursue. One thing I would like to, if you're still trying to kind of figure that pathway out, oftentimes I talk to students and they say, I want to do something in healthcare, but they have no idea what. If that's you, I would like to share a resource. It's an online research, and it's called ONET Online. And it's, so if you go ONET online.org, you can research all different kinds of careers in healthcare and other career options. And it will also give you some information about outcomes for that, or a job outlook, salary ranges, different kinds of careers. So please check that out if you are someone that's still trying to figure out. And guess what? It's okay if you're still trying to figure it out. The next slide here just talks a little bit about our graduate studies and advanced opportunities. So we do have a new Master's of Global Health and Equity and the Master's of Medicinal Chemistry. If you're someone that really likes to do research, a cool thing about that medicinal chemistry, you can come in as an undergraduate student in the pharmaceutical chemistry program and transition to that in an accelerated path and really get that master's degree in a quicker manner. And then you can kind of, I'm sure you can read, so you can go through all of those other, if you're interested in dental school, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. Those are all, again, reach out to us and we can talk a little bit more in detail. Let's get to really what I want to talk and what I love to talk about is transfer students. So are you a transfer student? If you're watching, I'm going to assume you are, but just in case you're not, maybe this will clear it up. So a transfer student is someone who begins their college academic career at one institution. You earn some credits through completion of coursework and then decides for whatever reason to transfer to a different school. And that's okay. Some students, there's so many different reasons that you transfer. One thing I would like to notion, if you are someone that's in high school watching this and you're taking dual credits, you're not really a transfer student. So when you go to apply and do things like that, you're still considered an undergraduate first-time freshman student. If you leave high school and you take any type of post-high school college work, at that point you are considered a transfer student in our terms. With that said, every institution has different policies, so it's really important that you research the institutions that you're looking at, because if I say that, you could go to a different institution and they could say something entirely different. So it's really important that you find out what is considered a transfer student. So hopefully you see these three pictures. They're kind of on their younger days, but what do Barack Obama, Lucy Liu, and Warren Buffett have in common? So look at those pictures of those young folks. So they have in common they're transfer students. They all transferred for a variety of reasons, just like you all. Some students attend community college or some other school to save money. Sometimes students go away to school and it's not the right fit, and for whatever reason they need to transfer. Sometimes you go away to school and you figure out, wait a minute, I want to do something different and this school doesn't have my major, and so you have to transfer. So you're not alone. I think sometimes transfer students feel like defeated, maybe, or even like they didn't have it figured out, and that's just not the case. It's just you chose a different path, and that's okay. So actually, 4 out of 10 students do transfer during their lifetime. So you have lots of friends with you, and so keep that in mind. Hold your head up high. You've just figured it out and you're ready to move forward in a different path. And again, it's okay. So tonight, these are kind of the strategies that I work with students to assist them with their transfer. I think they're helpful. We're going to talk a lot about planning ahead. We're going to map out, because mapping out things can save you time and money. And if you went to a community college, you possibly could have went there to save some money. And so we need to make sure maximize your opportunity while you're there. Find your fit. I think oftentimes students in high school, they're searching for that right fit, and for whatever reason, transfer students don't think that they should have the opportunity to do that. You have that opportunity, and you probably know a little bit more now what you want and what the right fit, or what the fit isn't working for you. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and then we're going to talk about how important it is to build a financial plan. So planning ahead, research the policies of the school. I think I talked about that a little bit. Just because we say this is what our policies are, that isn't always, there's not a universal standards policy for transfer around the United States. Each school sets their own policies. They have their own application deadlines, and they're going to require that students submit various documents and information about themselves. So you need to be thinking about that and checking out those things early. And it is never too early to connect. If you know the transfer school that you want to go to, if it's us, I want to get the earliest contact I can with you, because we can talk about deadlines. We can be talking about scholarship. We can be talking about how your credits are going to transfer. So the earlier, the better. So never feel like, that you can't reach out that first semester at the school that you're currently at. It's really important with articulation to kind of be at least narrowing down what schools you're looking at. Because of the types of courses, you want to stay on track. Like I said, you went maybe to a community college to save time and money. If you, for example, if you go to a community college and you're planning on maybe doing our pharmacy degree, there's specific chemistry courses that you need to take. And it would, to maximize your time there, when you get to choose, they tell you can choose a science class. You want to make sure that you're choosing the appropriate science course, because the last thing that I want to have to tell a student is, oh, I'm so sorry, you took the wrong math course, or you took the wrong statistics course. And that's disappointing, because they feel like that they've maybe wasted some money and time. And so we can avoid that by really talking about articulation and talking about how those courses would transfer in. Looking at this, so meet with your current academic advisor. That's super important. I know sometimes we'll meet with our academic advisor the first semester and then we think, oh, we're good, we can figure this out. But it's important that after you make contact with a transfer advisor at your prospective transfer school, that you go back and you talk and you build a plan with your academic advisor and talk to them about, maybe these are the classes that they recommend, so they can help kind of guide you. And making sure that you're doing the appropriate deadlines and that you're taking the appropriate classes. And then I want to kind of follow up with this: perform well academically. And what I mean by that is, it is so important that you work on or maintain your GPA while you're at the transfer school. You have to maintain high grades, and I can't emphasize this enough. When you kind of blow your GPA, it's really difficult. It takes a long time to recover from that. And so, not to say that you can't, but it does take a long time. So really coming in and concentrating on those classes. Here at UHSP, if you get less than a C-, we're not going to accept that course. So many schools have policies like that, if not stricter. Some schools have certain policies in regard to the minimum GPA that they'll accept. So those are things that you have to be thinking about. And then you also have to think about scholarship opportunities. You want to maximize that scholarship opportunity. Oftentimes it's based on the GPA. It's not going to be based anymore on what you did in high school. It's going to be based on what you're doing as a college. And then the other thing is, and I called it building your resume, get involved. You have to be thinking about other activities. I think I talk to students all the time, and they're in this, this club, this organization while they're in high school, and I go, well, what are you doing now? Well, nothing. Get involved, volunteer, do community service, get involved in honor societies and things like that. Do observations, those types, make connections with your faculty. You may have to use your faculty member for a letter of recommendation. And if they don't remember you, I don't know that you'll get that, or what kind of recommendation that you'll get. So be really thinking about what that resume would look like, and we're going to call that your college resume. Map out your path. Oftentimes students do start school and they don't really know the program that they want to study, and so selecting that program or narrowing it down is super important. We can help you do that. There's all kinds of resources within colleges. They have career centers and things of that nature that they can kind of help you narrow it down. By the time you transfer, especially if you transfer as like a incoming junior, you almost have to have it figured out. Not that we can't help you, but you almost have to have it figured out in order to do kind of what I would call that 2+2, 2 years at the maybe community college and 2 years with us. So to come in as a junior status. Because if you come in and you've completely switched your major, for example, if now all of a sudden you decide that you want to go to med school, and prior to that you were going to be a school teacher, the credits are going to look very different. So we're going to have to get you caught back up. But once you do select that program of study, we would love to do a complimentary kind of transfer evaluation. I can even do that when you first start at the community college or college. We can use your fall course schedule, something like that, to build that plan. And then we can evaluate, provide you with the correct course number of the courses that you can take at the particular community college or other institute that you're at. If we haven't ever evaluated that class, that doesn't mean it's not going to count. We're just going to have to work together to get it evaluated, and I'm happy to do that and kind of take the lead. And then once we have it evaluated, you've done your due diligence for future transfer students. And then we can typically map out kind of a timeline of how long it might take you to complete. Something to be thinking about is that credit must come from an accredited institution, very important. And then always think about, if I do tell you we need a syllabi, that just means we need to approve the courses. Not all science majors, science classes equal science classes. And what that means when you're looking at some of these chemistry classes and biology classes, if you're looking at something like pharmacy or pre-med, it needs to be a science major for a science major type science class. And then statistics is another one we see that sometimes is a little bumpy, so you always want to check with us. So understanding kind of that transfer, the credits, that to me drives a smooth transfer, and staying on course. And what that means is, you're going to almost have to take 15 credits at your school. And if you get behind and you drop classes and there's gaps in your attendance, you're going to have to think about some summer classes to get caught back up. So meeting with your academic advisor and talking about how long will it take me to finish these prerequisites, or how long will it take me to finish this degree? If I only go 12 hours, can I finish in 2 years? Probably not, so I could add some classes in the summer. So you need to ask yourself, how long do I want it to take me to complete that associate degree? And what's it going to take me to stay on track and map that out? And then there I just provide you, if you do want a credit evaluation, you can email me at anitajentry@uhsp.edu and just attach an unofficial transcript, and we'll get started with that. And then find your fit. I think I talked about that a little bit before. We go and we visit places and schools when we're a freshman in high school or a junior in high school, but sometimes we just do our visiting, so to speak, virtually and online. That's okay to do, but at some point you really do need to visit the campus to make sure it's the right campus culture, the size, it's providing the community engagement that you're looking for. You want to meet students and faculty and hear their stories, and really the best way to do that is a campus visit. We offer virtual and in-person tours, preview events, special events. You can get on our website, and in the visit tab you can find out about all of those opportunities. We do customize those plans, so if you're someone and maybe you're a student athlete, want to meet with a coach, we can work that in, or if you want to meet with a particular faculty member. So I do have this beautiful, if you've never been to St. Louis, it is breathtaking. So that is the arch. Hopefully you recognize that. Our particular campus is located on 9 acres in the Washington University Medical Campus. It's one of the nation's leading biomedical communities. So as a student, you really do live and learn in kind of this healthcare environment. You're living and learning with these leaders in healthcare and innovators. I think that's so exciting. And then our playground is really the city. There's lots to do here in St. Louis, and there's lots of free things to do here in St. Louis. So, our backyard is Forest Park, which is one of the largest urban parks in the nation. We have free attractions. Our zoo is free. And then if you like food, it is the mecca of all kinds of different food. There is something for everyone here. So definitely come check us out. Get online, like I said, explore, but you do want to come and actually see for yourself what I'm talking about. Let's see. So when I talked a little bit about, remember that college resume, how important the college resume is, I wanted to talk about how to get involved. And, as a transfer student, when you first get to your transfer school, whether or not it's us or another institution, get involved. That's how you're going to meet people. Remember, you're coming into that school and maybe everybody's already made their friends. That's okay. But this is a way through athletic programs, and we are a member of the NAIA. We do offer athletic scholarships. We have about 15 different athletic programs. You can find those on our website. We have lots of different student organizations, a little bit of everything, and if we don't have one, we'll help you start that particular opportunity for student organization. If you're interested in research, we have 4 research facilities within UHSP. There's research that happens very organically. It may just be that you're in a class with a professor and they say, hey, I'm doing research, and you raise your hand and you chat afterwards, and all of a sudden you're involved in that research. And just, it is rare to find a school that you get to do research as an undergraduate student. And so when I'm really talking about building kind of your resume, that will be something that makes you stand out. If you are into theater and music, we have a performing arts program that you can be involved in. And then, of course, we like to serve our neighbors. So service within the community is very important to us. And there's all kinds of opportunity throughout the school year to do so. And how am I going to pay for all of this? That's the big thing. So plan, financially. We do offer merit scholarships for students, transfer students. They're awarded at the time of admission, so you don't have to submit any other kind of application. And then also I encourage students to reach out for external scholarships, and I'll throw up a list of those in a minute. We are a member of Raise Me, so if you've never heard of Raise Me, you can do raise.me. Join at UHSP, and those are micro scholarships, and you can earn some scholarship dollars, maybe for getting an A in a class, or maybe for doing a campus visit, or for doing a volunteer opportunity. So check that out. And then our financial aid office, we understand that the expense of going to school is overwhelming sometimes, and so we have a phenomenal office that we do one-on-one counseling with students and their families to go over the cost of tuition and how you're going to pay for that. And then please, please, please don't forget, fill out your FAFSA. It opens October 1st, and you must do that every year. So here's a list of some external scholarship sources, and again, you can find these on our website under financial aid if you miss out on this slide. But I definitely, transfer students sometimes think there's not going to be scholarships for them. There are scholarships. There's specific scholarships for you. So definitely go out. You want to really start thinking about the scholarships about the fall before or the year before you decide to transfer, because a lot of those do have December and February deadlines. So next steps, we want you to apply. So when should you apply? I advise students, don't wait till the last minute. Ideally, a year before you plan, to transfer is when you should start that application process. Oftentimes students start it the semester before, and that's okay. You just want to make sure that you allow plenty of time to get all your supporting documents, and that you have time to make a decision, and that you don't feel rushed. So there are a couple deadlines there. We're pretty lenient on those deadlines, just so you know, but work with us early, and we do a holistic review process. So we're looking at everything from GPA to the types of courses that you've been taking. We map out your core GPA, your science and math. We're looking at things like, how many times did you withdraw from a class? We look at that. We look at gaps in your attendance. So sometimes students have to write some personal statements like saying, this is what happened. I had a bad car accident, and this is why I had to withdraw from class. And that's okay. Just, we want to know those things. So the transcript really does drive your application, and we're one of the few schools, we will accept an unofficial transcript, but it must be from all schools that you've attended. So if you went to St. Charles Community College and then you transferred and you went to UMSL, we need both of those transcripts, okay? And that's very important. And then once we review all of your documents, you'll get an admission decision and hopefully a scholarship award. A couple things to keep in mind: if you have less than 25 transfer credits, you're not only going to have to supply your college transcripts, but you're also going to have to supply your high school documentation. If you have over the 25, we'll just need those college transcripts. So if you, this is a lot of information and I know I've been talking fast. This is not intended to be the last time. It's that we ever speak to you. It's just intended to kind of give you a little bit of information about how we do transfer here at UHSP. Here you can see, this is me with short hair. My hair is a little bit longer now. Thank you, COVID. But there's the Office of Admissions website. But the best way to reach me, call me, text me. That's my cell phone number. It's not just there to be looked at. It's there to be called. I look forward to meeting you and hopefully helping you build that successful transfer path. Thank you. I'm going to turn it back to you, Courtney.
Yes. Thank you so much, Anita. That was so much great information. And yes, like you said, it can seem overwhelming if it's the first time that you're hearing this information from us or at all about what it means to transfer between universities, between colleges. So take it in and definitely, like Anita said, reach out to her, reach out to us. We want to help you along this journey for your transfer path, and we want to be here to support you in that. So thank you so much for listening. You have the contact info to reach out to us, to follow up and ask those questions, and come visit us here on campus. We can't wait to show off our campus to you. So thank you so much for listening, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye-bye.